The additive identity is a number that when you add it to any other number, you get the same number that you started with. So for example, if you have a number, like an x variable, okay, any number, doesn't matter, and you add this number, the additive identity, to the original number, you end up with the number that you started with. If you have 3, and you want to add something, okay, it's one specific number, and when you add it to 3, you end up with 3. What is that number? 0, right? Okay, 0 is the additive identity. If you have 129 and you add the additive identity to it, you're going to end up with 129. Okay, the identity doesn't change anything. And it works for negative numbers. If you have negative 11 and you add 0 to it, what do you get? Negative 11. All right, awesome. So the additive identity, 0. Okay, that's going to be important because we're going to talk about additive inverses today. Okay, let's go to the next page, additive inverses. An additive inverse, oops, looks like I have an error right here. An additive inverse is a number. When you add it to the number, its inverse together, added together, will give you the identity, okay, which is 0. So if we have a number, for example, 3, and we add the inverse of 3, we will get the identity, which is 0. Okay, and so 3 and its inverse. What's the inverse of 3? What number, when we add it to 3, will give us 0? Well, negative 3. 3 plus negative 3 would be 0. And if we have 129, what would we have to add to 129 to get 0? We'd have to add negative 129, right? The negative is the additive inverse. What about if we had negative 11? What would we have to add to negative 11 to get 0? We'd have to add a positive 11. Negative 11 and positive 11 are inverses of each other. All right, so we have the inverse of a number, like let's say x. The inverse is going to be the negative of that number. And another word for additive inverse is the opposite. So the additive inverse or the opposite means the negative of that number.